So that's my new tripod. It's a little bit higher than the ladder I used to have. But the ladder, I had my tripod up here and I would stick it against the ceiling. This is still pretty high though. So we'll see. Now, I just found out that we can still sorry. Yeah. So I just found out that we can still do this. I didn't know that we could do horizontal streams. Till now. Just setting her up here. There we go. I didn't know we could do horizontal streaming for a long time. But Tinkerbell told me, hey, I can always see and hear you whenever you're doing your thing. And then we watched, she was on Livestream on mine while I was doing the live stream on my phone. She was on her phone, I was on mine. And it still allowed her to view all of the, the new comments. Sorry, it's been a long haul, I should say that. Starting to get a little worn out, but working every day is to be expected. So today we'll be getting rid of gaps, cracks, and nail holes. I've already gone through and got rid of all the nails that are poking out. I just got done sealing all the grout. I sealed everything twice. So that's cool. That's a huge, huge win. Huge win. Let's see. I also did the quarter round in the bathroom nook closet. That was important. Looks a lot better now. Sorry, I'm just setting up a charger for you. I don't want the phone to die. Wow. How's it going? Jonathan Martinez. Landa 2020, is it 222? What's happening? Remember to like and subscribe, please. Oh, Michael MMM. Is that my cousin? I'm pretty sure Mike spells his name like that. Matthias 105. Hey, can I ask you a question for a video? What's up, Stevie boy? You got a question? What's going on? You got a question for the video? How's it going? What do we got? Man, I need to lose weight bad. All that Red Bull. It's all that friggin' Red Bull. If I just drank water, my body would release all that. I'm just stuffed full of salts and sugars. What's going on, guys? Here, I'll swap you around so that I can see you. I'm doing something vertical anyway, so that'll work. Can I ask you for a question for a video? Yeah, what's going on? What's your question, Stevie? Got a whole box of Alec Dat right here. This is interior and exterior. Okay. That's where this goes on my. I got some water. Stevie boy, you still there? Remember to like and subscribe, guys. Remember to like and subscribe. I got some water. I need to find. Yeah. I ought to put a hat. Sweat rag on. Got some rags all pre-cut. So I take the big rags and I'll cut them into smaller pieces. And that gives me way more rags out of each one. So, super important. All right. we've already got the tube going. This is old, I gotta push this through. Okay. Cool. I just stabbed myself, not cool. Right there. With this dang thing. Gosh. Can't believe I just stabbed myself. It went right through this hole too. Alright, we got 2 rag buckets. We're going to use the other one. I'll put that bucket down. That bucket there. I just realized Smart Primer, best priming company in the whole world. They got the same colors as Dad, Alex. Freaking weird. Never noticed that till now. So you're always gonna want one of these. It's a multi-tool, okay? I like the black ones because it has metal all the way through the shaft. And if you need to use it as a chisel, you're able to. But this needs to be cleaned up a little bit. So what I'll do, I like to sand them. Wow, this one is my, this one's for my belt. Yeah, this is the one I use in my belt. Anyway, I haven't worn my belt in a hot minute because I've been doing this interior work. So before I go sealing anything, I'm just making sure my mud is completely out of the way. Alright. Yes. What's happening? Hey, baby girl, Kobe. That's my baby. Love you, Kobe. That gets the dust out of the way. And a wet rag. So most of these walls are already primed. There was a couple spots that I had to hit with mud after I primed them. Most of it was like just construction, dings and bumps and bruises, you know. All right. Remember, the doors don't come finished. They're just primed out of the factory. You cut your tips. I'm going to try to make it nice and just barely. Like that's almost too much, but it's somewhat perfect, right? Small tips. Now, I usually have a work platform where I would span all of these doors. So let's hook that up. I have one of them at another job site right now. But I have these tiles that have to go. I just finished tiling. I'm so ecstatic that all the tile are done. So what we'll do now that all the tiling is done, okay. I gotta put these tile boxes away. These have gotta go to the shed. These will go to the shed as well, but right now, my main focus is to get this work platform okay. So I'm gonna tape those boxes shut. Okay. Kind of a waste of tape. I have a lot of it though. Alright, that's going there. That's going. So this will all go in the shed. Until we have more room in the other, in the maintenance room, basically. All right, so now I got the work platform, one of them. Like I said, the other one is at a job site. It's at the site where all the mouse turd was. All right. Cool there. Talk to me, people. How's it going? What's happening? Oh, I guess I'll get to work then. Yeah. So this right here, I can do all three of these doors without having to move, right? Very efficient. Yup. Now, I like to do top down. So I gotta do the box in over there too, but I'll just do the doors, anything I see up here right now. So in just a couple days, I'll be spraying this whole place all over again. Now that I'm done with the tile, we're off to the races. The trap has been sprung. It's over with. Might as well sing Kumbaya now because we're on our way home, baby. That's right, we're on our way home. Okay. So, all of this is getting painted. I probably should wait to caulk this until it's painted. It would give it better adhesion. But, you know what? Yeah, let's live with the yahoos in the forest. I'm just doing it because I need to get it done. I need to get it done. No, there's no excuse. I just need to get it done. All right. I always take the extra sealant that falls out of the tube from the pressure, and I'll take that and I'll fill up any holes. And remember, we're just filling the gap. We're not leaving a big bead. I really do not like leaving a big bead, because really it ends up falling on the weight of itself, right? All it's holding is that little tiny seed, you know? So I just literally, all I do is fill the gap and wipe it all off. Sometimes you need more, sometimes you get by with less, but at the end of the day, we're just trying to fill the actual gap and move on. Now this wet rag, the wet rag helps a lot with actually removing the excess sealant. If I were to keep this excess sealant on, there would be a lot of what we call tails. It's like a cat's tail, kind of. It's just basically, it'll end up being a booger when you paint. It'll look gross. It'll be very, very noticeable. How's that? And some people would use wood filler here, but I'm painting this white, so as long as I wipe all the excess sealant off with a wet rag, no one will ever see that hole. Remember, when you paint, you want to do a top-down process. So you always start from the top and work your way down. And do everything you go as you go down, right? Another good one, if it looks like a gap, then it's going to look even worse, more of a gap when you paint. So if it looks like a gap before paint, it's going to be multiplied and amplified after you throw paint on it. So basically, what I'm trying to say is just fill it while you're there. It takes seconds longer rather than having to go back around the whole house because you skipped little tiny things. Just fill them all. You won't regret it, I can promise you that. And really make sure that you're filling that hole. Like, forcefully push it in deep and then keep trying, even once it's full. I like to go left and right, up and down, and it kind of forces it up, down, left and right, and it kind of gives it, when it goes in that void, it's filling and really grabbing a hold of surface area. So this stuff is, so elastomeric, that's the big word with sealant, right? Elastomeric just means that it's going to flex. It'll hold this surface and that surface while still filling the middle, and if these surfaces move, it'll hold the surface and flex with it instead of letting go if that one goes that way and then creating a new gap. So elastomeric, that's all that means. It'll hold and flex with your material. Another thing, I like to, if I'm sealing this way, so if I'm pulling, I'm going to push my sealant the other way. It goes right along with what I was just saying about grabbing surface area left, right, up, down. The sealant really, it really does need to find surface area to grab. It's another big reason why we don't leave it a big thick bead. If you see a big thick bead basically anywhere in the world, that's someone that really doesn't understand what they're doing. Now I'm not saying, I'm saying probably 8 to 9 times out of 10. You don't ever want to rely on caulking for absolute water protection. So really sealant is just to fill the gap. You don't want this big ugly bead, like looking like a weld bead, you know, you don't want that. If you've done it right, you shouldn't even know that there's caulking there. That's really the goal. Now, another thing, you're going to use the point of your tip to your advantage. Think of it as like a Michael Jackson doing the moon dance. He gets that tip down there on the floor and he just drags it. And that's what you call it, like hiking his leg up, same thing. You're going to set it that nice flat, and you're going to hike it up just a little bit so that point has pressure, and then you'll pull back and it's going to force that stuff, induct it straight into the gap, and then you pull a nice clean, if you have tails rolling out of each left and right side of your tip, you're pouring too much sealant. You just got to lay back on the squeeze. That's all. Just lay back on the squeeze. Something like this, I'm not going to use my electric gun. This stuff comes out real easy. This is a dripless gun. It has the cutter. It has the rammer, whatever pops the seal. I like how it spins like this, and I also like it doesn't have the button. It's an automatic dripless, so you don't have to play with that clutch every time. Okay, I've got a little divot here, so I'm going to fill it with sealant like that, and then I'll take my nice new Purdy, right? And I'm going to put it right up against the ceiling and wipe it clean. Now I'll let that seal, I'll let that dry, and it'll act just like as if you were to mud it. You will never even know that that was there. And then any excess, I'll find holes, trim nail holes to fill it in with. take all that excess. I'll start attacking holes. I never leave it. Always wipe it flat again. So this is a bigger hole, and it doesn't like to stay very well. So what I'll do, I'll wrap my rag around my knife. Yeah, never mind. I'll just scrape it down with my knife. Okay. Now I just wiped off any outside edge. You don't want any line from the caulk. Wipe it right off. Got a little extra. Find another nail hole and really push it. Push it in there. Okay. Now I just like to wipe this clean. Right? Throw that down in there. I just need a drink real quick. Thank you for the love, guys. Is that you hearting me, Cole? Oh, it's Tink. Love you. I gotta just label these. Apartment 3B, kitchen, backsplash. Bath, vanity, with both partial end cuts. Lovely. Boxes are labeled. It's good to go. Love you, girls. All right. So that was a lot of information that I just kind of threw your way. If you're new to sealing stuff like this in a professional manner, that's going to take a little while to learn any of that. And that's fine. You can always refer back to this video. Remember, if I'm pulling this way, see how I slowed down? It's because there was a hole there. I'm just going to come back through. All right. Now this is another thing. I forget the term for it. So we're going to wrap the corner for the next man. That's what we call that. We're wrapping the corner for the next man. It may be you, but you're going to appreciate it when you do it. So if you get to the end of a board, or if you start at the end of a board, if you're painting, you're also going to finish. You're going to do this here. You're going to do its end seam too, and feather, just lightly feather down. We call it feathered edge. Leave a feathered edge going with the grain of whatever wood you're doing. Same with sealing. So I'm going to seal down in to the next, wrapping the corner, right? What that does, it ensures that you're getting a very good finished product, I should say, because the corners are the things that take the hit the most, right? rag starts to get dry, all you gotta do is go wet it down again, but you don't want it wet, like dripping wet. You don't want that. You really do want to wring it out well, and then, wash it out well, and then wring it out basically until there's as hard as you can, right? This has a drywall, this has a live mud edge, so I'm going to take special care. I'm basically wrapping the corner right now for myself when I get down here. I don't want to do a partial line. I need this to go end to end. We call this end to end. END to END, right? It's like wall to wall when you paint. Here we go. Of course, I just messed it up. Beautiful. I really shouldn't be caulking right now. I should spray primer first, but I've done this long enough to know where to be careful. You see, I didn't run my wet rag there because the whole right side of this door, 6 inches out, was all live mud. Basically, drywall mud that hasn't been sealed yet. And if you run a wet rag against that dry mud that hasn't been sealed, it's going to create all kinds of scars and marks and divots in it everywhere that water touches it. But because I know what I'm doing, I just put very, very faint, perfect bead of sealant that doesn't have any tails, that fills the gap perfect and gives me a flawless edge. Now on these seams here, you got 2 boards meeting. I like to go against the seam, back and forth, and it works that sealant into each grain of each end of the wood. You notice, because there's live drywall there, I don't have this hanging. I'm grabbing it in my hand. Now I'm wiping everything off and going with the grain of the wood. See how I went with the grain up and down, right? Well, up and down, side to side. Okay. All right, my rag's wet, dry. I'm just going to use mine. They're smaller. I'll need to wash it more, but I'll have more control where it's not so long. So that right there was a little bit of splashback, probably from the tile saw. Okay. I'm still, I guess you could call it, on the fence, right? I know I want to stain the shelves in the closets, the nook closet in the bathroom, both the closet shelves, this shelving, and the cabinet. And I think if I match the stain on all the lower mopboard, I think it would tie the whole house together rather than staining all that and painting all the mopboard. I don't know. If I stain it, it'll look finished. If I leave it plain wood, it won't look finished. If I paint it white, it'll just make it kind of flow with all this trim. All my door trim are all white. All my window trim, I have one window trim here. All the others are all drywall return. So they're all white. Everything's white there. So that's the only thing that's making me say, just paint your mopboard white too. But I just have a feeling it would look good and tie the rest of the house together. Not many people have commented on that to help me work that out, but I would love to hear your opinion. Big time. So right here I'm trying to get this nice and face flush as I squeeze the ceiling deep into this seam. Here we go. Love it. That gap is completely stuffed full. You see, I'm just constantly keeping this tip clean, always keeping it clean. Really filling that in. Okay. only filling stuff that's optimal while I'm up here. If I have to stretch for it or bend weird, I shouldn't be doing it. I can do it when I'm lower. Okay, I got a little booger in this corner. wet down again. And it's okay to soak them too. As long as you soak them good, you can continue to wash them. What's going on, everybody? Who's on here? What you guys up to? You know when I'm wearing, you know what I'm doing, something with sealant or something like that. Because I'll wear carpentry clothes for when I do carpentry. White I wear when I don't want to get my good stuff dirty. Although all my good stuff is literally too small for me now. But I think I ought to start losing weight, hopefully. I like to keep it off too. I gotta bring in my tools here. Well, I got a little bit of sunlight. I don't think I'm going to need them, but you never know. So I'll keep them in limbo for now. I can't believe only one person in the whole world wants to watch this. Well, you never know. Maybe I'll get a sponsorship from someone. They would have to pay for a moderator because the trolls are stupidly crazy. Okay. Set this up. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. What I need is an editor. I need someone that edits really good. They can take these videos and dress them up like they do all the other people. Oh. So tomorrow will be a good day. I gotta bring those back, put those back. I might even have to put my saws back. I don't know if I have more carpentry to do. We'll see. Getting nippy out there. I did want to I do want to trim this. Trim that out. Probably just put a piece of half round there. I got some other cool trim I might put in there. But this here, do something there. There. I have enough half round to do it. See, that's how it would look. It looks way better. That's 3/4 trim though. I have half round stuff. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring that inside. This here. Pieces. That is about 9 feet. Yep, a little over 9 feet. That's a couple partials. All right. Set that to the side. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go in for the day. I have ran myself rampant. To be honest, I'm just tired. So, yeah, I'm just gonna call it a day. Oh, I hope I don't have to deal with stupid trolls tomorrow, as long as everybody can be nice. So I got this stuff I gotta put away. I might just think about finishing up any last touches of carpentry, which would be this and both sides of that vanity. I'm pretty sure I'll be happy. So, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching. What's happening? You guys still there? just remembered, I'm gonna have to paint everything. Because it's a fire hazard if not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to paint it all. What's hey, what's should've